Hey y'all, it's Jocasta Lester. How are you? In this video, I want to talk to you about how there are certain very distinct odors that we come across in life that may or may not be telling about unclean presences, things done, etc. Um, I, for the first time in terms of actually going into a crawl space, I went into a crawl space today, y'all. And I suited up. I mean, I put on a suit. I put on goggles, y'all. I belly crawled. So, y'all, I went into a crawl space. One of my coworkers who went into that crawl space with me, he made a note that there's rats in that crawl space, and spiders. And I didn't see those things, but I was informed. I was like, what did you see? Did you see the rat poop? Like, what made you? It was the way that he said, the way that the insulation looked. So I took that to mean, that maybe they had burrowed through some things and all that. And he stated it. He said something about the way the insulation looked, and I understood it to mean that they had probably moved around in the insulation, made holes and things. I think he said something about holes too. But check this out. So I have smelled a particular odor that is really bad. I did not know that it was rat poop or rat droppings. All I know is that when this rodent ran through this house, and I don't refer to people as rodents, know that. People are people. Excuse me, I've been coughing, sticking my tongue out all types. I'm sorry, y'all. People are people, and rodents are rodents. You got it? People are people, animals are animals, plants are plants. Things are as they are, okay? Things are what they are, and that is so, okay? So check this out. When it comes to certain distinct odors, I've encountered this once before in life where I smelled a strong odor, and I had never smelled it before in my life, and it started coming off of my hair rag. I'm like, what is this nasty, stinky smell? I don't like, what is this? But I went on to stand next to a person who smelled like that. Like that odor was on that person. And they smelled like that when they got really sweaty after we had been working all day on a ship that was like 100 degrees or so. So, with that said, fast forward to today. I was familiarized with the smell of rat. Mousy. It came through this house, this place where we're living right now. It was so nasty. So, I saw the creature. It scurried. There was something that scurried when I came home one day. So I saw it scurry. It ran from what was the living room into the kitchen. And we hadn't had no creatures. Like, the creatures were cyclical and they came from outside. We knew that they weren't our creatures. And there's a difference when you know that it's a creature where it's a resident versus like something like, if you see a big old bug from outside, right? You know that if you kill it today, it's just a bug that came from outside. It ain't one that has a nest in your house that's reproducing and making baby bugs. You feel me? So anyway, this creature, I don't know where it had residence or where it came from, but it was leaving droppings in the house. But I smelled it. The creature itself, when it came into the house was so rancid. It smelled so bad. It was so bad. All of the neighbors started opening the doors to the hallways. It was so bad. It just stank all to be darned. It was like it was an announcement that there's a creature in this house to the whole apartment building. It's like the whole place just started to stink. I smelled another odor when the police came one morning rather. And on this morning, I had called the police to deal with my mother and her friend. Well, they were having a little bit of a spat, and he called my mother something I didn't understand. And he's back. He's out there talking to her. But check this out. But after this argument, he refused to leave, and he wasn't refusing so harshly, but he did. He wanted a ride home. So I did not give him a ride home. I told him to go, and I called the police and used that particular situation to get him to leave, okay, so that they could separate. Well, they made their amends, and he's back, okay? They didn't fight. They didn't hit each other. I called the police to make sure that he left. But when I called the police, I also asked them to check up on the attic because I smelled an odor. Now, a few days prior, when it warmed up outside, it smelled like what was rotting flesh, okay? That's what I smelled. And I asked I asked the police, who would I contact to deal with the smell in the attic? That's what I asked. It was two guys, it was a black guy and a white guy. So, this is what the goings on is. All of this to say to you, this whole thing is being brought to a head and to an end, okay? But I've been working for a company called ServPro, and they work in what is remediation, in repair, and they work closely with insurance companies. What happens is when people suffer a loss, when there's water damage, fire damage to a home, their company comes out and does the cleanup. And after they do the cleanup, they're followed by another company that goes and puts it back together. Okay, or rather within the same company, depending. So, with that said, so they work in remediation. Okay. So while at this company, I came in, I sat in a car with someone, and I smelled this strong. Okay. So today, now mind you, I've been getting beaten up in my head by all types of spirits talking all types of stuff. Okay. But while I was sitting in the car, well, first today, I was working. Now I've identified this odor as rodent. I was working in this house today, and in the kitchen pantry, I smelled what was urine, and I smelled rodent. Okay. And it was strong. It's a horrible odor. But I smelled urine, particularly in the kitchen pantry of this house. So that with him saying there's rats in the situation, with me smelling it, because we were lifting up the floor. Okay, so when we lifted up all the floor, we got all the way to the subfloor in the pantry, and I smelled this rat odor. Now this odor, it just shows up loud and crazy. So when I was sitting in the ServPro van with another coworker, I smelled this odor. It just happened suddenly. And it happened, I'm trying to remember, because sometimes you need to place the odor, the owner, and where it happened. Like, why do I smell like a rat right now? Or why am I smelling this rat-like odor in this place where I am? Okay? So I smelled it while I was in the car. And it was me and the technician. And then I went on to smell it on that technician at work this morning. So sometimes you get accused of things that aren't on you. And I'm telling you, these nasty odors, they show up and they find their way to people. So I say all of that to say, make note of things. Just keep track of it. So repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Have a blessed and marvelous day. And thank you so much for watching my video. I'm getting ready to take a nap before I try to go and do laundry and go to the gym. I say try. So thank you. Blessings.